So today we're going to be talking about moving up your client pyramid. Yay! We'll be diving into core clients. Before we dive in, dive twice. It may be good to start thinking about, as you're listening, is there a particular level that you can tell from what we've gone over so far, either groundwork or core potentially, that you have been gravitating towards the most or that you've been focusing on the most? Because so often we think that we may be speaking to one level of clients, but once we come back and reflect on it, we may only be speaking to a particular level, and that may clarify a whole lot for us. Okay, so core clients. Core would be the middle of the pyramid. You've got groundwork on the bottom, you move up to core. These don't have to be like even levels. It doesn't have to be like groundwork that you have more groundwork clients than core clients. Actually, a lot of my clients tend to have more core than groundwork, especially because, groundwork could be like a mini course or like the little offers where there's not a lot of one-to-one action potentially. It could be like single sessions where core could be more of like a group program or a bigger course, and then crown being more of like one-to-one or a mastermind. And this structure is not going to apply to everyone, but just to give you like an example. So core clients could be the majority of your clients. It's going to depend on your structure, but they are likely going to be able to invest a whole lot more than groundwork clients, while also needing less attention than a crown client. So, you can kind of weigh the pros and cons of, at some point, do you want to focus more on crown clients, but have fewer of them because they will need more attention? Do you want to, focus more attention on groundwork clients who are going to pay less, but you may be able to attract more of them and then elevate them into core clients? Or, are you focusing on core clients? And it may be that you have particular times of the year that you're focusing on each. That's typically what I do. And I find for myself, it tends to be a really more natural process of, okay, we have these things for this, we have these things for this. And I don't have to think about, am I mixing my messages or, like any of those weird questions. But with core clients, so who they are, again, that middle tier. And it's really, really important that you're clear on the specifics of who they are, because they need to be understood. And it's really important that they fall into the right place. If you place them in a groundwork, it's probably okay. They might feel a little like, it was too easy. I don't know if I really got the full transformation I'm looking for. But they still are more apt to move up to being a core. If you put them in a crown place, even if they can afford it, doesn't matter how much support you give them, they're likely not going to have as big of a result, or they're going to flounder and just get stuck unless that offer is highly structured. And this is like my own personal thing. It's why I don't believe that if you are starting off in your business, you should have like a traditional mastermind with no lessons, or it doesn't have to be even in business. It can be in any area. If you're starting off with something, unless there are structured lessons or a structured way of delivering content, it's not going to work as well. And you guys can do what you do. But know that the core clients do need, they need that structure. They need to know what is keeping them secure, what's keeping them motivated. They need to know really specifically, like, what are they learning? What are they processing? What are they integrating? How do they do it? They may have some experience with what you're doing. If you are, we'll just use business because it's easy, an example. So they may have been running a business for a while or thinking about running it and like planned it all out, but still things aren't quite as solid in whatever area. Or, if you're a manifestation coach, maybe they've been manifesting for a while, but, they just don't know, they need new techniques to get bigger results, or there's something specific that they're working on. If you are more of product-based, then that could be, like they've started off with the simplest of what you have. So let's say you sell candles. So they've started off with like the smallest candles. Cool. You want them to be consistent buyers. Maybe you want them, in a subscribe where they get a candle each month, something like that. You need to make it clear, like, okay, so what is the extra thing? What is the structure of how you use this? Maybe they need a ritual to go with it every single month so that they can use it. And trying to think of an example. I think House of Intuition does an astrology box every month where you get one of their candles, like a, I think, bath salt, crystal, a couple other things, and you get like a little ritual of how to use them. That gives you the structure that you need. So it's not like you looking like, well, I want to do something with this moon, but I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what to buy. Maybe I'll just buy some sage. This gives people the structure that they need to move forward. So we can probably guess the first thing that core clients need. We've said it like 18 million times. They need structure. For me, that means that they need to know what's happening when. They need, for me, I particularly like lessons, but it might be that they need even just something like worksheets, or every Friday we're having a discussion and answer. Anything like that. They need to know what is happening on what timeline, essentially. Everything also needs to be very clear and understood. If there are lots of things in your offer, maybe you reword them or take things out as bonuses so that it's really clear. This is what you get. This is the transformation. They could also benefit from repetition. So repeating the same process weekly or monthly so that they can get used to building that schedule, which you may be familiar with. For this, it's 2 lessons a month, and each lesson is followed by an implementation week so that you can integrate, so that you can do the homework, you can ask questions. And if you're in the Facebook group, then there's also like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday post. You have that repetition, you have those reminders of, hey, you're supported. Ask for support if you need it. Tell me what's going on so we can dive in. And there is that structure. Marketing wise, I really like, again, we want to focus on that like structure piece. So I love challenges for this level, or even like video series with a little bit of like take one action afterwards. Webinars or, videos, whatever, where you have them fill out even like a worksheet with like fill in the blanks or something as they follow to keep them engaged. All of these things work really well because there is some structure to it. I tend to like challenges the best because you can give them a taste of the structure of the actual program or whatever. If you were running something more product-based, then you might lean more towards, either having a challenge where they use the product and you run through how you would do something for specific use in 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, whatever. Or you could run them through, like a little mini ritual on how to do it. And then it could also be one of the types where you teach and then have them fill out things and then have them like in the bottom of the worksheet, ask them questions on like what would apply the most to you? What would, get them thinking about it. When you're working with the core level, first, we want you to notice what are the different fears that the core level clients have versus what you've noticed in your groundwork clients. They may be similar, but maybe with like, layers peeled back. They may just be a little bit deeper. Just notice what's there so that you can acknowledge it if needed. You can talk about where they're at without playing to the fear, but like just to be honest, here's where you are. Also, I want you to pay attention to what type of energy do you feel from these clients. I find that core clients tend to have awareness of what needs to be addressed. They know there's more to heal. There's probably going to be some resistance. It may come up as frustration or angry or being bitter. It may come up as avoidance. Just be aware so that you can help them move through. If you know their human design, you can help them move through it a little bit better. But they also need to be reminded that there's going to be action and movement, especially at the beginning, because they tend to fall back on the, kind of like revert a little bit to some of the groundwork fears of, well, it didn't work for me then, so why would it work for me now? So just pay attention to that while you're working with them. As you can guess, in our homework, we're going to be getting a little clearer on our core level clients, thinking about who this really is. Are there people we know that we can think about, matching to that level so that we have a specific energy with it. If you want, you could pull a signifier for this level so you have a, you know, a tangible, this is what they're going through. And I would say pull it for like 6 months or a year. And I will see you soon. Bye.